The following program is underwritten by the generous support of Associates of Glens Falls and Loomis & Lipan Insurance. Since 1852, they have been assisting both businesses and individuals across the country secure the most comprehensive insurance products available. Associates of Glens Falls and Loomis & Lipan are one of New York's largest independently owned insurance agencies. Public affairs programming on Look TV is underwritten by the generous support of Pinellas Restaurant, classic Italian-American food since 1922, and Stored Tech, technology solutions for computers, networks, and phone. Stored Tech, your technology, our passion.
1922, Babe Ruth debuts with the Yankees. WGY signs on air. Exterminator wins the Saratoga Cup, and Pinellas Restaurant opens its doors for the very first time. For 5 generations, Pinellas has been preparing delicious Italian food, served in a comfortable, home-like setting where everyone is welcome. 90 years of authentic Italian recipes, 90 years of the freshest ingredients, and 90 years of the finest classic Italian dishes, all made daily by hand. Pinellas Italian Restaurant, a Saratoga dining tradition since 1922.
Most cybersecurity firms deal only with prevention, the systems that block hackers and viruses. Stored Tech knows the root cause is actually good people doing bad things. So we offer a security training program which includes certifying all participants to show they understand the basics.
Technology solutions for computers, networks, and phones. Stored Tech, your technology, our passion.
All right, my hammer's over there. I got everything spread out. I'm just calling the meeting to order. Welcome, everybody, to the Town of Queensberry Town Board meeting. It is April 6th, 2020. The time is 7:02 p.m. And before we begin the regular agenda, I'm going to ask the people that are here to please rise and join Councilperson George Perone in saying the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, thank you, George. Thank you, everybody. All right, we have 2 items for the Queensberry Board of Health. So is there a motion to move into the Queensberry Board of Health?
So moved.
All right, moved by Councilperson Perone, seconded by Councilperson Freer. All those in favor of moving into the Queensberry Board of Health signify by saying aye. Aye. It's unanimous. We're now in the Queensberry Board of Health. Our first item, please, Karen.
It's a resolution granting Don Bernard of 20 Brayton LLC an additional extension of time for septic system replacement at 20 Brayton Road and reinstating escrow deposit.
All right. Don Bernard lives at 20 Brayton Road. And this is our law, the septic inspection upon property transfer. And he's been before us before. But because of construction delays and because of the COVID virus pandemic, he is asking for additional time of 1 year. So he will not lose his $2,000 escrow that he put forward to assure that he gets the job done. He will get that once he gets the job done. Okay. So is there any discussion before we move to motions?
Is this a rental property or is this a personal residence?
I don't know.
Okay.
It's nothing right now.
Okay.
It's because he hasn't built it. So may I have a motion to grant Don Bernard of 20 Brayton an extension of time of 1 year for septic system replacement at 20 Brayton Road?
I'll introduce.
Moved by Councilperson Medevere, seconded by Councilperson Perone. Roll call vote on this, please.
Councilperson Freer,
Yes.
Perone,
Yes.
Stroud,
Yes.
Medevere.
Yes.
All right, thank you. That's done. So Don Bernard of 20 Brayton Road has another year. Our second item, Karen.
A resolution setting public hearing on sewage disposal variance application of William Smith.
All right, well, we're setting the public hearing for April 20th. It may or may not occur. I mean, things change by the day. If this COVID virus gets better, then perhaps we'll have it. If it doesn't get better, Perhaps we won't. But William Smith, the 13 Chestnut Road, it's on Glen Lake, wants to put in a new septic system, and he needs 7 variances to do that. The variances are: 1, absorption field to be 1 foot from the west property line instead of the required 10-foot setback. 2, absorption field to be 1 foot from the north property line instead of the required 10-foot setback. 3, absorption field to be 65 feet from the west neighboring well line instead of the required 100-foot setback. 4th variance, absorption field to be 94 foot from the south neighboring well line instead of the required 100-foot setback. 5th variance, absorption field to be 56 feet from the on-site well line instead of the required 100-foot setback. The 6th variance, treatment tank to be 7 foot from the dwelling instead of the required 10-foot setback. And 7th and last variance, treatment tank to be 36 feet from the on-site well instead of the required 50-foot setback. This is property located on 13 Chestnut Road. This is to schedule a public hearing on the matter April 20th at 7 p.m. here in the Activity Center at 742 Bay Road. All right. Any discussion before I ask for motions? All right. A motion to set the public hearing on sewage disposal variance application of William Smith for April 20th.
I'll make it.
Motion made by Councilperson Freer. Seconded by Councilperson Bedivere. Roll call vote, please. Karen?
Councilperson Ferone,
Yes.
Stroud,
Yes.
Bedivere,
Yes.
Freer.
Yeah.
All right. That's it for the Board of Health. Motion to move out of the Queensberry Board of Health. Moved by Councilman Ferone. Seconded by Councilperson Bedivere. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. It's unanimous. We're out of the Board of Health. All right. Before I move on to resolutions, I just want to make sure that the public is aware we are live streaming. It's a Town of Queensberry YouTube Live. And if you type that into your search engine, you can see us live. Now, if you wish to speak to us, and I will give you 2 opportunities, and I will announce those opportunities. You can call area code 518-761-8225. So I have a phone here. So it doesn't queue. So if you call and it's busy, I will be with you shortly. Call again. All right? So if you have any questions about anything, there'll be 2 opportunities to discuss with the town board any of the issues or concerns that you may have or thoughts you may share. But this first part of the agenda, there's 11 resolutions. I will explain those resolutions to you. And then if you have any questions, thoughts, or concerns, you can do a call-in. Now, we do have 1 person in attendance from the public here. So last time we had our meeting and we live streamed through Zoom, we had some issues with that. We had some Zoom bombers. So we want to, we have to provide an essential service to the town. There are just things that I think are more legal, more open, more honest, doing it this way. So we try and live stream. Not only that, but Look TV shows us 3 times a week. Is it Joel? Joel Barlow, the camera person from Look Media, Look TV, is here. And I think it's at Tuesdays at 8. Wednesdays, I think it's 2:30. Sundays at 11 or 10 a.m. All right. So the public health crisis created by COVID-19 has forced municipal officials to cancel, suspend, or postpone public hearings and meetings. And we have suspended the meetings of our Zoning Board of Appeals and the Planning Board. However, the Town of Queensberry Town Board has to conduct public business that is necessary and essential. So we are making every effort to be open and transparent. I think that Queensberry is one of the most open and transparent municipalities that I'm aware of in the region. We have all of our meetings are filmed and posted on Look TV, so you can see it at the time that they're broadcast, or you can go to Look Media and see it streamed. Those are our town meetings. So we're making every effort to be open and transparent, yet meet the intent of the Governor's Executive Order 202.1. That order suspended, among other things, the requirements of New York's Open Meetings Law contained in Article 7 of the Public Officers Law. The intent of the Governor's order was to limit public's exposure to and mitigate the migration of COVID-19. So, if there are guests who come, members of the public, we have cleansing wipes, we have microphone, and we're going to make sure that that microphone is sanitized before and after, should someone want to come and speak to us. We're all sitting a distance of at least 6 feet away from one another. We have all limited the amount of the items that we have touched and shared. We do have sanitary wipes. We've used them already for items that we have shared. So we wish to hold the town board meetings in a format that allows for remote viewing. We will make reasonable efforts to allow for public participation and provide a means for public comment. In addition, I want to tell you that the town board wants to remind its residents that we all have emails and we're all available by phone. So there are still ways of getting a hold of us and expressing your opinions and thoughts, and we value that. All right. So next, what I'll do is I'll briefly describe the 11 resolutions. And then I'll ask the public if they have any questions, thoughts, or concerns. I will wait. The call-in number is area code 518-761-8225. Okay. All right, so here are the resolutions. And we'll get to this too. All right. 3.1, Karen.
Resolution authorizing advance payments to Bay Ridge, North Queensbury, and West Glens Falls emergency rescue squads under current agreement.
All right. We still are under for the 3 squads, Bay Ridge, North, and West. We have last year's contract. We have not renewed the contracts this year because we're doing a study of the EMS world here in the town of Queensberry. This study may bring up some good ideas. I'm sure the study is also going to recognize our 3 EMS squads and the good that they do. We have a working, functioning system. We want to make it look at making it better. But the thing about it is the COVID crisis and everything else. Our squads are very busy. Medical supplies have gone up, and they're asking for some kind of a contract. So I've asked them, if I give you a 2% increase, will that help? Well, it doesn't resolve all their problems. It does help. So in the very near future, we may have proposed contracts for 2020, 1-year contracts with 2% increases. All right, the 3.1 is just to carry on a monthly payment to the EMS squads in accord with last year's until we get around to approving this year's contracts. All right, 3.2, Karen.
Resolution authorizing Public Employer Risk Management Association, Herma, to provide workers' compensation third-party claims management.
All right. This is a situation that's kind of different. Years ago, the town workers' compensation insurance was self-insured through the county. Then the town decided to get their own insurance policy for workers' comp coverage. A third-party administrator was engaged to manage any claims left in self-insurance, as they couldn't be transferred to a regular carrier. That third-party administrator was Cool Insuring. They have been handling the self-insured claims, and in the past years, the number of claims has dwindled down to 1. Now, we were informed by Cool that due to a change in insurance regulations, they can no longer act as third-party administrator for this claim. So the town's current workers' compensation carrier, Herma, has agreed to take over this one remaining claim. They subcontract with a company named Sedgwick to handle third-party administrations. This resolution will authorize the change from Cool Insuring to Herma Sedgwick to act as the third-party administrator for the one remaining claim. 3.3.
Resolution appointing Robert Hummel to Town of Queensberry Recreation Commission.
We have a vacancy in the Recreation Commission. Bob Hummel has come forward and said he'd be interested in it, and I can think of few people more qualified than Bob Hummel to take this position. He was the longtime basketball coach at Queensberry, very much into athletics and sports and what's healthy for people. I think he'll be a great asset to the Recreation Commission if he's approved this evening. 3.4.
Resolution authorizing award of bid for purchase and installation of a poured in place PIP subsurface for Hubby Pond capital project.
All right. Well, this is a part of the recreation, the play area over at Hubby's Pond. We have closed the former play area. We have disabled the swings. We have roped it off. We are not allowing anybody to use the play area at Hubby Pond. It is still very widely used because of this COVID thing, the one opportunity for people to get out and get some exercise. We have signage saying you have to abide by social distancing and so forth. But in any event, this is for the new play area. The lowest responsible bidder was Play Sides Plus Surfaces for a total amount not to exceed $91,125. There is also, may or may not be spent, a 5% contingency added to this for $4,500, making a total of $95,625 if the town board awards this bid. 3.5.
Resolution authorizing modification of policy related to use of personal leave due to COVID-19 pandemic and ratifying memorandum of agreement between the town and the town's unit of the Civil Service Employees Association, Inc., CSEA.
So the town, your personal leave, this isn't your vacation time, it's not your sick time. We do give a certain amount of personal time to people, and their anniversary is the day they were hired, and it goes year by year. There are some people who won't be able to use their personal leave time because of their anniversary date falls during this tumultuous time of COVID-19. So this is offering the employees an option. We're going to allow you to carry it forward. But I also wanted to provide an option that if you want to change it in, we'll give you your regular pay. Because when this COVID-19 is done, our workers are going to have to go back to work double time. I don't want them feeling that they have to use a personal day because the anniversary date has come forward. I want them to feel like they got a job to do. Let's get the job done. So this personal leave, and if because of the duration of the state of emergency and constraints borne by national, state, and or local plans or orders that arose as an effort to curtail the spread of COVID-19, town employees are unable to utilize their personal leave allocations before the respective anniversary due dates. Such employees will be given the option of either adding those unused personal days to the next anniversary date or receive payment for them at the employee's current rate of pay. The employee must notify the accounting department in writing as to which option the employee elects 1 week prior to the employee's anniversary date. If the employee fails to make such an election, the employee's unused personal days will be added as additional personal days that may be used until the employee's next anniversary date. And this is basically an MOU, and it's the CSEA has approved this as well. 3.6,
Resolution appointing Veronica Stillman as records clerk in town clerk's office on a permanent basis.
congratulations, Veronica. She did stupendous on the civil service exam. So we appointed her on a provisional basis. She had to place successfully on the civil service exam, and she did. She did a very good job. So her successful completion of her 26-week probationary period comes to an end, and she'll be on a permanent basis if this town board appoints her tonight. 3.7.
Resolution to amend 2019 budget.
All right, this is still some of the carryover from 2019, believe it or not, and it's just shuffling things where it wasn't needed, where we thought it might be needed, and it turns out other things change, and we need to shove it to places where it is needed. 3.8.
Resolution approving audited bills warrant of April 6, 2020.
Okay, so with a run date of April 2nd and a payment date of April 7th, 2020, totaling $1,666,029.03. 3.9.
Resolution authorizing declaration of town utility infrastructure, HVAC improvements, capital project as essential.
All right. The core of our town are these two buildings. We're right in the midst of changing over the HVAC system. Old, antiquated, doesn't work some of the time, at least a couple decades old, depending on what part. Some, I believe, is older. And we're in the position of putting new ones in. So I've asked all the contractors involved with the HVAC system to submit a COVID-19 code, a code that their workers will have to abide by. So this is declaring the town utility infrastructure, HVAC improvements, capital project as essential. 310.
Resolution authorizing declaration of town highway garage capital construction project as essential.
And this is 4 pages. I came in one weekend and typed out 4 pages of why the highway garage has to go on. We've already started it. It's in back of us. The site has been ripped apart. We don't have any salt barn. The maintenance buildings are going to be taken down. The place is going to be a mess. The project is predicted to go at least 6 months. Some told me it could be 7, 8, and 9 months. We have to have this in order. We got our first snow and ice storm in the middle of November of this year. If we don't have the salt barn, we don't have the highway building, we don't have the sand mound all back in place and ready to go, we're going to be in trouble. And I think that if we have an ice storm and our roads are not sanded and salted, it is going to jeopardize public safety. So, and for the first 30 days anyway, they're going to be doing some of the site layout. If you're picturing a whole team of workers coming and putting up this building, that won't be until this summer. So I don't want to stop the process, because if they're doing layout work, which is very quiet, the workers are very scattered, but you need to do this preliminary work before the others happen, I don't want to delay it. So 310 is authorizing declaration of the town highway garage capital construction project is essential. 311, and the last one.
Resolution ratifying adoption of revised town of Queensberry COVID-19 pandemic response plan.
All right. Every week we have upgraded our COVID response plan. It is now 21 pages. It's the executive summary, basically, of what the town is doing in response to COVID-19. Many towns don't have a comprehensive plan like we do. We have one, and we are updating it. And, the town board, our department managers, everyone has been involved in creating this COVID-19 response plan for the town of Queensberry. And I gotta say, we've got some of the finest employees ever, anywhere. I mean, when it came time to help this town board out with getting this done, they were right there. So I want to thank the employees, especially the managers of our various departments in the town of Queensberry, for coming forward and helping us out. Well, this is the town board's approval of the most recent pandemic response plan. Those are the 11 resolutions before the town board tonight. Now, if you have a question, a thought, or concern, please call area code 518-761-8225. So I don't know if you can see that very well. I'm watching it live too. Okay. So 761-8225. While we're waiting for people, because there is a slight delay, while we're waiting for people to maybe call in, here's the phone, here's a microphone. I want to take this chance to congratulate the Queensberry High School boys Nordic ski team. All right, they won New York State Public High Schools Athletic Association 2020 Boys Nordic Ski New York State Championship, which was hosted in Bristol Mountain, New York, February 24th and 25th of 2020. We want to thank the coaches, Paul Allison, Matt Flint, Chris Frollinghouse. Congratulations to the Queensberry High School Boys Nordic Ski Team. This is local slate etched in commemoration of that New York State Championship. We also have a proclamation that has very much the same that we will putting in a frame, and we will bring this to Queensberry School when the time is appropriate. We're very proud of our young athletes. We've done this for Queensberry. We've done this for Lake George when they win state championships. Okay. All right, again, 518-761-8225. While we're waiting, any town board member have any thoughts you want to share on any of the resolutions tonight?
Yes. So I'm not in agreement that we need to allow all employees to receive pay for their unused personal leave. I believe we should just allow them to roll it into their unused for their next anniversary. I explained that my view in terms of my rationale, and I support the memorandum of agreement, but don't support the resolution as presented.
All right, let me correct you. It's not all town employees. It's only those town employees that have their anniversary that fall between the COVID time period where they may lose their personal leave, okay? So, and I've given you my rationale is that when we come out of COVID-19, there's going to be a lot of work to do. I don't want people saying, I've got to use my personal leave. No, I want them to say, listen, pay me for my personal leave. I'm going to work. We got to get this job done. We got to get back on track. All right. So, and you're entitled to your opinion, and I value your opinion.
Okay, but there's no beginning or end to what we consider the COVID-19 time, right? So it's a little bit unclear. And with unemployment at 15%, we're going to be taking funds from what is, in my opinion, going to be a very austere environment in terms of, and paying out people for times that they should and could use this personal leave. So I don't think we're going to have, this is, to me, this is not good personnel policy. And I'm not going to support it as written.
Okay, thank you. Any other thoughts on any of
I
the
would
rest?
assume that the end would be when all employees return to work.
Yes, I mean,
It would be the end of the emergency that we declared. Right?
yes. In the meantime,
So does it start today?
nobody knows.
When does it start, John?
It's when we started this on March, what was it?
So this is retroactive to what, when?
It's retroactive to them, but you know how many people you're probably talking about? Very, very few people. You know how much money you're probably talking about? Very small amount in terms of the bigger picture.
What bigger picture?
The bigger picture of if we lose, let's say 10% of our revenue for this year, that could be about $900,000. That's a worst case scenario. That's assuming that we don't have a strong rebound this summer and this fall. We will take a loss and we will have to make adjustments. And it's going to have to be across the board. But what we're saying is we don't want people who during this COVID crisis, when we told them to go home because they were non-essential workers or because they could do the work home, that they won't pay that penalty. And when they came back, they'll be entitled to those days that normally would have terminated on their anniversary, which may have occurred during this COVID-19 crisis. In addition, I would like them to work because I think we're going to have more than enough work for them to do to be able to catch this town up. For example, the highway department that we were talking about to begin with.
Okay, but the highway department is covered under the CSEA agreement, which I support as written.
Yeah. Well,
Okay,
this
so
is.
I'm saying that salaried supervised people shouldn't be able to cash in when we have an austere program in the future.
And that's fine because it applies to both CSEA and non-CSEA.
I'm good with the CSEA piece. I'm not good with the other piece.
All right. Well, I have
They're not
tremendous
being
respect
mandated.
for
It's
our
their
workers
option.
and our managers who
They
have
can
helped put this
choose.
plan together. I'm sorry, George. Go ahead.
Well, I'm saying they could choose whether they want to roll over the time or if they want to get paid for the time. They're not being mandated to take payment for the time.
No, I understand.
Okay, fine. Any other thoughts on this resolution or any of the others?
Nope.
All right, we've had no call in. We've waited, I think, a reasonable amount of time. And so, are there any resolutions that you would like to have pulled? And Harrison, I'm going to assume that you want one of these pulled.
Yeah, unless people are willing to amend it to delete the part about the received cash payment. I'd like 3.5 pulled.
Let me review the town board. Is there any amending you'd like to do to the resolution as it's been presented to us tonight?
I'm fine with it. In the private sector, the same thing occurs.
Same thing.
So, I mean,
I agree.
I'm used
I
to that.
agree. All right, so we'll pull it so you can have your dissenting vote. Any of the others you'd like to have pulled for whatever reason?
No.
So
Okay,
we'll do 3.5 first.
let's do 3.5 first.
Okay, so resolution authorizing modification of policy related to use of personal leave due to COVID-19 pandemic and ratifying memorandum of agreement between the town and the town's unit of the Civil Service Employees Association.
Okay, is there a motion to approve that resolution?
I'll introduce it.
All right, introduced by Councilperson Medevere, seconded by Councilperson Perone. Roll call vote, please.
Councilperson Medevere?
Yep.
Freer?
No.
Perone?
Yes.
Stroud?
Yes. Resolution passes. The other resolutions, 3.1 through 3.11, we've already dealt with 3.5. Is anybody willing to move the rest of the resolutions forward for approval?
So moved.
Moved by Councilperson Freer, seconded by Councilperson Perone. Roll call vote on the remaining resolutions, please.
Sure. Councilperson Freer,
Yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Stroud,
Yes.
Medeville.
Yes.
Okay, resolutions passed. Any correspondence?
No.
No correspondence. Privilege of the floor. This is a moment where you can talk to the town board about any town item. And the number you would call is, if you'd like to watch us live, we're on Town of Queensberry YouTube Live. And the number that you would call in is 518-761-8225. I could bring that over. On a Dan. Have you time to delay?
Amazing how delayed this is.
Give me a second. It's all dependent on your internet speed and how well it's holding up.
Oh, okay.
It's really low.
All right, well, I'm back. So let me see.
Are you on this internet?
Yeah,
Only about a 2-second delay.
I just died. It looks good right there.
Yeah. 761-8225. Well, you can't hear me, but
It's a bigger delay than that. I can see the difference. I can see what's actually going on.
yeah, all right. So the number's been cast. For those that are watching, the phone's waiting to ring. And Mark Shackner, our town attorney, that's why I have this. If we needed a legal opinion on something, he's waiting for a phone call, which we haven't had so far. So the next item, which we'll get to in a minute, will be town board discussions. Well, yes, Mark. This is our town council, Mark Shackner. Did you call for a reason, Mark?
Yes, to tell you that I'm not so sure the call-in works because I've tried it a dozen times and I just keep getting a busy signal.
Oh,
Could be a bunch of people that turn the phone at the same time and it's confusing the line.
oh, it could be there's a bunch of people trying to call in. You'd think the first caller would get sent through.
Yeah, I'm not sure. There's nothing we can do. Nothing we can do about it. I'm just not sure it's working. But anyway.
All right.
Reason, Mark? Yes, to tell you that I'm not so sure the call-in works. I've tried it a dozen times and I just keep getting a busy signal. Oh.
All right. So you must have YouTube Live coming in, and there's that delay, and we're hearing it come through the phone system, Mark.
That's correct.
All right.
I'm gonna hang up, but don't get your hopes up.
Well, all right. Well, thank you for bringing that to our attention.
Yep, bye.
Oh, bye. Well, that worked. All right. So Dan's looking into it now. Dan Griffin from Stored Tech is looking into it. All right. So if we get a call in, we'll deal with it. In the meantime, let's go to town board discussions and start with Tony.
I'm good tonight, John. Thank you.
Okay. Tony's fine. Harrison?
Yeah, so Ward 4, our missing Ward 4 position, which is now vacant. We have, I believe, 6 letters of interest, and I think my sense is that we should set a cutoff date for anybody else who would like to apply, and then we will have to sort through what kind of a schedule and a process that we're all comfortable with. But that would be my recommendation to the group. The second item I have is the whole notion that short-term rentals is a hot topic, and maybe you can give some clarification on the county position. As I understood it, was that they requested people to take their short-term rentals off of places like Airbnb and that kind of stuff. But they didn't mandate it, so there's no enforcement going on. Is that your understanding as well?
That's correct.
Okay, because we got a constituent question about, what our position is, and I intend to go back and tell the constituent that, we're working on our short-term rental regulation, but it doesn't have any mandates to eliminate short-term rentals, and I'm not sure that the state is endorsing that idea or where the executive orders are, but just letting people know that we do have a short-term rental draft law in the works, trying to address some concerns from citizens and more to follow, but trying to deal with it as best we can. But there's no intention, or our understanding right now is for Queensberry to try to prevent people from conducting short-term rentals. And then my third kind of comment continues to be that I hope I'm wrong, but I see some tough times ahead for our budget and the economy and where all that goes. So we're going to have to be diligent in moving that forward, just like we've been with the planning. And I would encourage people to follow the new rules to, when in public, wear a mask. My friend made this for me tonight, and it's more to protect others in terms of in case one of us is inadvertently asymptomatic but carrying the virus. So that's it for me.
Okay, thank you, Harrison. Oh, that's Dan. What worked?
Test call.
All right, George.
Yeah. I would dovetail onto one of the items Harrison brought up, which was short-term rental. And I did have a conversation with John one day that under the circumstances we find ourselves in that we haven't yet completed short-term 100%, should we think about having some guidelines in there that if the governor has a state of emergency again, what we should do in terms of short-term rental and whether or not we should prevent them from occurring. Unfortunately, I would love to think this is the last time we're going to see something like this, but we keep hearing that term new normal. This might be the new normal, that these things come about more often. So maybe when we sit down and talk about the law again.
Well, and the first part of that process is a public hearing, so it'll be good to get input.
Well, yeah.
Hello, Mr. Johnson. John Strow here. Yeah, we are. Let me put you on voicemail. All right. You want to try it? Say something. Well, let's try that. Mr. Winslow? Now the conference call. Let me try that. Are you there?
No, not very good.
All right. You're coming through now. So, Mr.
I think.
All right, John Winslow.
Yeah.
So, Mr. Winslow.
Yes.
Do you have a thought or a question or?
Yeah, I got two questions.
All right.
Number one question, has anything been done about filling the vacancy on the town board? That's the number one question.
Okay.
You want the number two?
Yeah, well, you want me to answer number one first?
Go ahead.
We do have 6 interested parties for the vacancy on the town board. I talked to some of the town board members, and they would like to interview the 6 potential candidates, and and then possibly decide to pick one of them to represent Ward 4, because we do feel that Ward 4 should be represented. So
yeah, it should be.
And we agree with you.
4 members is not good on a town board. It ties too many votes.
Yes, well, we understand that.
Yeah.
So we're moving forward with that. We just have to wait till this COVID thing dies down, and we can meet with them and interview them some manner.
I got another question.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead with your.
Okay. Now there's a tremendous amount of people walking on the road now, and the dust is really flying bad. And can't there some way that they could sweep around once? It's all coming all over our house. If you're set outdoors, it's actually right on our face because the road sand, they drive over a few times, it just turns to powder. It seems like it's almost a health hazard too.
Yeah, you're not alone in your opinion. Yeah, we want to get the highway department activated as soon as possible. It likely will not be this week. And we'll see how the COVID-19 crisis, pans out this week. I would like to see our highway department. I think we could make the argument that, a street sweeper has one person in it. The truck in back of them that has, empties out the street sweeper has one driver in it.
That's the way I feel about it too.
The water truck in front of them has one person, and they're all 100 feet apart. So as long as they clean the surfaces, so we're going to work on that. I like your suggestion to get going on that, and I'll see what I can do, okay?
Now, who am I talking to now?
John Stroud, the town supervisor.
Oh, it don't sound like it, John.
Oh, I'm sorry, but it is me.
See what you can do about sweeping the streets. It's terrible.
I know. I agree with you, Mr. Winslow.
Okay. Thank you.
Thanks for calling in.
Okay.
Yeah. It worked. All right. Phone's available. In the meantime, we're going to go around 518-761-8225. What we're doing is, we're relaxing. When you call in, you call in. In the meantime, while we're waiting, George Ferrone has a few thoughts he'd like to share with us.
Okay. Number two, I just wanted to remind everybody, it's easy with what we're going through right now to just forget about a lot of things, but we do have a 2020 census going on. Should have received notification at home. If you have a computer, it's very easy to do on the computer. It would save everybody a lot of trouble to prevent people from coming door to door, which we don't want to have right now. So if you can, go online and do that 2020 census. It'll help our town, our county, our region for them to do that.
Good point.
And then on COVID-19, I don't think there's a TV or your phone or your computer that you look at where they don't talk about all of the protocols for COVID-19. Just keeping up with everything that the people are saying, washing your hands, keeping 6 foot notice, stay at home as possible. I know my wife is very afraid this week because they say this week and next week is supposed to be the top of this pandemic. So if we could do that, that would be great. Unfortunately, you see us here tonight, but the town has to operate, so we're here doing our civic duty and doing that. And as you can see, they say wear masks, and our associate, Mr. Freer, has his mask on, and selling Coca-Cola at the same time.
All right. Thank you, Councilperson Fromm. All right. While we're still waiting, and again, it's 518-761-8225, and we do know that the phones are working. At least now they're working. All right. My phone's working too. All right. Few announcements I have. And one of them is what Councilperson Ferrone was talking about is the 2020 census. If you've lived in your house for a while, you're going to get something in the mail. It says to go online or use your phone and answer, it's like 10 easy questions. It didn't take me, I don't think, 5 minutes. And all that information is held. Nobody can get it. So it's held privately, so don't worry about that. None of the questions are that personal in nature anyways. I didn't find it that way. But, only 39% of the people in the town of Queensberry have responded, which is pretty good because we're better than most. But that still means that, we have 61%. You got to call in. Now, if you didn't get a piece of mail with your number on it. You don't need it. If you're renting an apartment, you don't know anything about this, but you're watching this meeting because you're watching YouTube Live or Look TV, then just go online to the United States Census and answer the simple questions, and you're done. It's important that we don't lose you and don't count you, because a lot of federal monies depends on the population of a state. So, all right, moving on. Lake George Land Conservancy put out its annual report. It's a great organization. We know that the number one cause of pollution in Lake George is human activity, human development. All right, how do you prevent that? By not developing it. And the Lake George Land Conservancy has bought up land all around Lake George. It's now available for hiking and seeing beautiful views from mountains and so forth. They do a lot of good things. All right, Dave Wick of the Lake George Park Commission sent out a little final report on the milfoil control efforts in Lake George. It's a 2019 report. It's multiple pages, 30 pages, but it talks about the great job that they did, the Lake George Park Commission did, in controlling milfoil on Lake George. Ryan Moore, Warren County's administrator, he's doing a great job up there. And we do get these daily reports, and we have, right as of today, at least this morning, we have 2 in serious condition in Glens Falls Hospital, or in Warren County at least. We've had 25 number of tested positive cases. 19 have been full recovery. 79% have recovered with mild symptoms, 14% with moderate symptoms, 7% recovered in serious or critical conditions. All right, how about the transit, the bus system? The Greater Glens Falls Transportation Council is suspending transit operations. However, if you are aware of any individual requiring critical transport to medical, non-emergency appointments or essential employment, please, the Greater Glens Falls Transportation Council, please give them a call. Or you can look it up. I'll give you the number. It's area code 518-792-1085, between Monday through Friday, between 8:30 a.m. and 4:30 p.m. So they are currently available to offer those types of transportation on a reservation basis. So if you need a ride to the doctor's office, you need a ride to a medical facility that's not an emergency. If it's an emergency, call one of the EMS squads or call 911. They'll take care of the squads for you. So medical and essential employment transportation services are available to anyone who was, within 3/4 of a mile with the fixed routes. That includes just about everybody. All right, here is our most recent, we just approved it tonight, COVID response plan. And again, I want to thank everybody's help for developing that. The Park and Recreation, as you know, it's great to see people out there getting some exercise. They're using the trails. For the most part, they are abiding by social distancing. I understand families, social distancing isn't going to work. You live in one house, you sleep in the same rooms, you share the same kitchen. All right, I get it. You're going to walk in a group. But, if I see 2 other non-related people, please try and use social distancing when using our trails. Our athletic courts are used for solo use only. Joel, is that coming through okay? All right, social distancing. Only those who live together can play together. And again, the Park and Rec is putting out another one, social distancing while in parks and on trails. Maintain space. Keep the minimum 6-foot distance between yourself and others. Don't dawdle. Move quickly through areas where people congregate, parking lots, trailheads, scenic overlooks. Leash dogs. Dogs should be leashed at all times. And don't dawdle. If you're not feeling well or are exhibiting symptoms, please stay home. The county has been very helpful. As I mentioned, Administrator Ryan Moore, but the county staff has been great here. Dee Park, she's with Warren County's Office for the Aging. She's in charge, and she wants to announce that this Thursday, Friday, Saturday, the Office for Aging staff were able to prepare and package and freeze 4,200 frozen meals. They still have about 300, and I just got this in today at 3:18, just hours ago. So they just got 300 more for a grand total of 4,500. So thanks to the generosity of Scotty's Restaurant, Adirondack Pub and Brewery, Moose Tooth Grill, and Lake George, we have excess freezer capacity to store these meals. So this stockpile is part of Dee's proactive plan. There are enough meals for each of our 500 plus clients in Warren and Hamilton counties to have 8 different meals pre-prepared and ready for them in the event that we need to alter delivery schedule to minimize in-person contacts during regional apex. And I congratulate her, Dee Park, for this forward thinking. And again, we're all here trying to help out as much as we can and help us get through this crisis. All right, boat inspection station. Just got this today too, for immediate release. And this is from Dave Wick, Lake George Park Commission Executive Director. Due to concerns regarding the ongoing COVID-19 pandemic, Lake George Park Commission Chairman Bruce Young has announced that the agency will be delaying implementation of its mandatory boat inspection program until June 1st of this year, as opposed to the traditional date of May 1st. The decision has been made to protect the health and safety of the boating public and the Commission's boat inspection staff. These here, and I can PDF them and send them out to the town board, but if the town board wants to see, these are the COVID-19 response plan of all the contractors working in the HVAC system and the highway garage. Schultz versus Queensberry. It finally went all the way through to the intermediate appellate court, and the town presided. Again, Census Day, let's spread the word. Let's get everyone out there. Queensberry, 39%. Bolton Landing, the Supervisor Conover, only 5.3% reporting. All right. Again, the water superintendent and the wastewater director, same person, Chris Harrington, would like me to one against. I want to thank Kathleen Moore, the Post-Star. This is a picture of one of our pumps covered by flushable wipes. We never had this problem, not like this. This is exceeding the capacity of the pumps. Now, we are now checking the pumps on a regular basis because those wipes are not flushable. Please do not put them in your toilet. They're going to be a disaster for your on-site septic system. They are a disaster for the pumps in the municipal system. Either way, don't flush them. Throw them away. The traditional manner. Highway Department, as we already spoke about this one, the spring yard pickup has been suspended until further notice, but a lot of people would like the town to get busy on that, especially if they use responsible means of preventing the further spread of COVID-19. Our transfer stations are still available. They are an essential service. However, we've cut back on workers' hours to reduce their exposure. They are open from 7:45 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. Okay. Ridge Road is Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. Luzerne Road, 7 times, 7:45 to 11:30 a.m. So if you've got garbage you got to bring to the transfer station, do it in the morning. On Luzerne Road, it's Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday. All right. Those are my announcements to the public. All right. Last minute for a phone call in. I think it would have happened.
We'll work on it.
We got one.
Well, this is better than the last one. We're improving. All right. Is there anything else for the good of the order? Motion to adjourn?
You got to thank these guys. Come on.
Oh, that's right.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Karen.
Joe Barlow from Look TV. Thank you. We do have the public, one person attending. Thank you, Dan Griffin from Store Tech. Thank you, Karen O'Brien, Deputy Town Clerk. And thank you, Town Board, for coming. And thank you, Harrison, for reminding me. All right. So motion to adjourn. Motion made by Councilperson Medevere, seconded by Councilperson Frone. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
We're now adjourned.
The following program is underwritten by the generous support of Associates of Glens Falls and Loomis and Lipan Insurance. Since 1852, they have been assisting both businesses and individuals across the country secure the most comprehensive insurance products available. Associates of Glens Falls and Loomis and Lipan are one of New York's largest independently owned insurance agencies. Public affairs programming on Look TV is underwritten by the generous support of Pinellas Restaurant, classic Italian-American food since 1922, and Stored Tech, technology solutions for computers, networks, and phone. Stored Tech, your technology, our passion.
1922, Babe Ruth debuts with the Yankees. WGY signs on air. Exterminator wins the Saratoga Cup, and Pinellas Restaurant opens its doors for the very first time. For 5 generations, Pinellas has been preparing delicious Italian food, served in a comfortable, home-like setting where everyone is welcomed. 90 years of authentic Italian recipes, 90 years of the freshest ingredients, and 90 years of the finest classic Italian dishes, all made daily by hand. Pinellas Italian Restaurant, a Saratoga dining tradition since 1922.
Most cybersecurity firms deal only with prevention, the systems that block hackers and viruses. Stored Tech knows the root cause is actually good people doing bad things. So we offer a security training program which includes certifying all participants to show they understand the basics.
Technology solutions for computers, networks, and phones. Stored Tech, your technology, our passion.